やあ、君が亮だろ？
あ、はい。はじめまして、フェルプスさん。
ああ、白の旅団の団長をしている。アベルから聞いていたけど、本当に面白い魔法を使うね。
あ、
ああ、大意はないよ。あの騎士は勝手に転んだのだからね。
So, my friends, I gotta be straight up with you. I think this was a dope episode of Water Magician. I think this was a really, really, really good episode of Water Magician. Like, I kind of geeked out a little bit during the episode. Again, we're covering episode 6 today. What's up? I'm Dom. I'm from the Otaku Room. We're talking about episode 6 of The Water Magician. And, you know, last week we got introduced to Sarah or Sarah, I don't know. An elf who's gonna be definitely a important reoccurring character in the show. Totally fine. That's all awesome. And this episode is focused on Abel and Ryou's relationship, as well as the closure of the dungeon and the opening of the dungeon. But what I found so interesting in this episode was Ryou's satiation. No, not satiation. He wants to get satiated. His extreme interest in alchemy. And through his interest in alchemy, first off, he's gotten a lot of flowers from Abel multiple times this episode, but specifically about his interest in alchemy. Even so, when he's talking to, I think, the Earl, I think there's a high-ranking noble who he has familiarity with. He's talking about like, oh, you know, alchemy is really cool. I didn't know alchemy could do all this. He's like, I have a friend who's really interested in alchemy. So I thought that was a really cool thing. Abel then giving Ryou's flowers again, because there's a moment where a professor from a different kingdom comes to find Abel and his party, and they're going to be the escorts of the people from the Empire that really want to investigate the gate and what happens after the invasion of all the monsters and stuff. And they come to recruit them. And the professor, who also comes from a long line of water magicians, gets asked by, I don't remember her, Ria? No. I don't know what the girl's name is, but one of the girls in Abel's party is like, hey, have you ever seen a water magician be able to kind of like pull water out of the air? She's like, no, dude, it doesn't happen. She's like, well, the kid that you just saw was able to do it. So Abel then gives Ryou his flowers again, and he tells the professor girl, he's like, hey, if you're ever in trouble, like, and we're not here, like, Ryou is the man. He tells them where you can find him, his room number, all this stuff. He's like, Ryou's the guy. And then he reaffirms to all his party members. He basically tells them like, hey, even if we were all to take Ryou on, like, I don't think we would win. So he's like, he gave him this flowers, like, so I am not letting any of you, like, you guys need to understand, like, you do not mess with Ryou. And I was like, that's so cool. So I thought that was a really awesome moment as well, this episode too, to be able to kind of see Abel being so high praise. I really want there to be a moment though where Ryou not shows off, but like shows off what he can do a little bit to the girl who's been questioning him, and then later on to this girl from a water magician family. I think he's gonna have strong familiarity and bonds with her, and he'll probably make her a better water magician too, which I think. I also really found it really interesting and cool too, and I really enjoyed watching Abel and Ryou go to somewhere where he was investigating, and they get attacked by this random assassination party, and Ryou with ice takes him out quickly, and Abel just laughs of like, this is crazy work. And Ryou's like, they didn't even try, and he's like, well, no, it's like you're just really up here, bro. It's not they didn't try. So I thought that was really fun. And then this episode also introduced Phelps, I think his name is, and he is a noble turn adventurer, and he has some crazy assistant with fire magic. And Ryou runs into him, and he has interest in Ryou, and it shows him obliterating. His partner just blazes, catches these dudes on fire with her magic, and they just get obliterated. That's not the word I was looking for, but I'm just gonna roll with it. I thought that was really cool as well too. And there's micro things that happen, right? He helped his buddies with, go find ore and all the other stuff that happened in the episode too. But this was this had my full interest, and it was just really, really good. So I really enjoyed this episode like a lot. So yeah, this episode of Water Magician, fantastic. I really don't want to talk more about the episode because I just think this was a really good episode. It was charming. It was fun. There was a lot of things that happened, and it built a lot of context for what's to come. And then again, like I said, I just geeked out. I geeked out a little bit because of all the little alchemy stuff that kind of occurred. I was like, man, this was a really, 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 really good episode of Water Magician. So yeah, that's all I got for you, my friends. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode in the comments down below. And I will see you guys next week for episode 7 of Water Magician as it continues to get better. All right, I'll see you then. Peace.